Cheers.
Sláinte.
Prost.
You should not do cheers of Gentleman Jack. It's weird. Hi, everyone.
We're back.
Sorry, just trying to get my gains in.
Yeah, he got a new piece of workout equipment. Who'd you get that from?
That was a Christmas gift from you, Josh.
Oh yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hello again.
We're back. We are not dead.
Hopefully for the first time and the last time we will be this far away.
Yes. Sorry about that long hiatus.
Are we sorry?
A little bit. I miss being able to meet up with you as regularly as we'd like. And
yeah, that's been something that's like it kind of was like getting to that point that like it was like, okay, I need to hang out with Andrew and like, you know.
Yeah, and I don't like it when we get to that point. So, but I also want to make, like, when I hang out, I want to be able to, like, just hang out and not just be about business.
Just be about business and just be about work, which is like, it's good that we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So we've been gone for a while. Life has been interesting for both of us. We're both pretty much settled into our new jobs.
Yep, my job has finally got an actual, somewhat of a scope of what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I'm working about 55 hours a week.
Yeah, which is less than we originally expected for you.
Yeah, it's still a lot.
You're still working in ministry, which is like dog hours.
Yeah, I mean it's not actually 55 hours; it's closer to 45. But there, like this last week, I worked I think 63 hours.
And you had a retreat, right?
I had a retreat. I was meeting with like 4 different students a day for an hour, and then there's like an hour prep that goes into each meeting. Then I had stuff yesterday that had me at the parish from 9 to 8, and it's just a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, I've been doing a lot more subbing, which has been nice, giving me a little extra spending money. But like I'm subbing 7 days so far in February. There could be more coming up, so that's been nice though because it gets me, interacting with people again. The students are all either thrilled or grown when they see me. There's one kid in particular, Brianna, likes to go "ew" every time she sees me in the hall, which is great for my self-esteem and my humility.
Yeah, the Lord's really just working to purify your heart.
Yep, that's a way to put it.
But yeah, I mean, other things, right? The podcast kind of had to take a back seat, just with life, work.
We had things that are slightly more important than our 7 viewers.
I think it's much more than that, but okay. Work, general just life stuff, going on vacations and holiday season. You have a wife. I have a girlfriend. Yes, I know. We were waiting for hell to freeze over, given last week's weather.
I was saying with the negative 15 wind chill.
But yes, so life's been
good.
Different, difficult. Trying to look at the camera more, but I just feel it's so unnatural with that.
Especially because we're doing more of an interview style here. So we're Gemma. We promise we are still taking your advice to heart. We're working on it.
If she still listens,
she probably doesn't, but whatever.
But yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Going forward, you and I have talked like just with the craziness of our lives. And wanting to, as much as humanly possible, commit to trying to meet in person to do these things because we have both agreed that, like...
It's better when we're in person.
But understanding there are limitations to that, like...
Gas is expensive
still. We're still waiting on Trump to fix that. 9 days in office.
We're asking a lot from him right out of the gate.
Gas is expensive. Car maintenance is expensive.
And... there's just not enough hours in the day, especially when it's this.
No, I mean, it
gets dark out this quickly.
I live 2 hours away, right? And, Mondays are my only days to do schoolwork to finish up my master's degree, and
I'm taking seminary classes right now for my certification.
Does Miriam
know? For my certification in Catholic theology, not in becoming a priest, which apparently does not qualify for deacon classes later. I found out, which is stupid.
That's fine. But yes, no, so I think the plan going forward is we're shooting for trying to film 2 episodes a month.
2 long form episodes.
Long form episodes meaning about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter.
The things are going to be over the half-hour mark.
And if you can't hear, there is a bird in the background. We tried to cover her up.
We covered her. We put her on the porch. We closed all the doors. There's only so much we can do.
Yeah. If we were,
If it was
And-
not bitterly cold outside
Yeah.
and we weren't doing food stuff later, which we'll talk about in a second, we would be outside.
But the goal of those 2 episodes, we want to take some of the constructive criticism that was offered to us.
The hate speech basically towards us.
Blessed hate speech. But to try to do more things,
Mhm.
several people offered examples, like the guy who went and visited every Margaritaville.
We should have gone to a Margaritaville for our Jimmy Buffett episode, which, yeah, we probably should have, but we were...
So our goal is to try to do more things, even if it's just like filming stuff while we're doing things that we're going to then talk about later.
We're going to have some B-roll footage we can like splice in. I've been working on getting better at editing. Hopefully that will show coming up.
Yep. Hopefully we can try to start to improve certain things that we've talked about. So that's one episode a month. And the other episode, we'll talk more about just like a general topic.
It'll be more what you're used to, the discussion based.
Yep.
We got to stay true to form, and those are a little easier on us.
Yeah, and we might still cut in some B-roll of like, if we talk about, say, for example, friendship, we might cut in like photos of ourselves as friends growing up, what that was
Videos
like.
of us doing stupid things.
Yeah. But
yeah, we want to be more engaged, and we talk about living life more fully. So we're trying to incorporate that into what we're doing here.
So you might expect some things where it's like we talk about something for a little bit, cut to us doing a video of something, and then coming back to discuss particular aspects. I know there's a lot of shows that do stuff like that now. Like I'm thinking like oh man, what is his name? The John Christ. What is Net Positive?
Yep.
He does, or like a lot of these shows will do like a portion where it's just the main staff of the show together first, talking about the guests they had on or talking about what they're doing, and then they're doing it.
Yeah.
Or so it'll probably be something similar to that. But that's one facet.
Yeah, and I know we used to do like a weekly thing, and that worked out because we were able to churn out content consistently. We originally were doing that. We aren't able to do that right now, just so we're switching to the idea of, all right, twice a month. It's more manageable for us, but we're not going to leave you high and dry. We're going to start adding in some more short form content. The idea is these are the minimums we're setting for consistency's sake, because we want to make sure we can meet these expectations that we set for ourselves and for you.
So a couple other things you might expect from us. We've both been talking about how our faith has become even more important to us, both in trying to grow in knowledge of the faith, but also virtue, our prayer life, stuff like that. So you might expect some more short form content, maybe 1 to 3 minute videos, something the length of like a reel or a short. Every once in a while, you probably will expect to see a blog post on one of the off weeks, and you might also expect to see a short form video on the other off week. So I think right now we discuss like the first and third Friday of every month will be the longer form discussions.
That's the plan. Yep.
And then the shorter form,
we'll probably do like a blog post on the second week, and then the fourth week would be a video, short of some sort.
And so on that rare occasion where there's a fifth Friday, we're just going to take that Friday off because
we might throw something at you if we have extra time, but
rest is important. Yeah. And I don't even think this year we'll encounter things like a fifth Friday.
And I know there's a couple of Fifth Thursdays. I have no idea about Fifth Fridays. I haven't looked that far on the calendar. I just bought my calendar for the year.
So
yesterday.
So I think because this week ends on January 31st, the first episode you might not get until February 6th.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do my best to churn out the content. I'm doing a lot of this type of work.
Well, if we're saying the first and the third, it won't be until February 6th.
Yeah. That's the plan.
So, but you might expect to see a blog post before then. So
we'll probably do two. One kind of reiterating what we're saying here in text form, so people know what's going on.
Yep.
And then the actual content.
So, but we are back. The boys are back in town. And with that being said, what is going on? What did you sign me up for today?
So I looked at some of our competitors, other popular platforms, and there's this one that you might have heard one called Hot Ones, with hot wings and even hotter questions, as they like to call them, or maybe vice versa. I don't remember.
Spicy questions.
So I thought, let's take what they're doing. We're going to do better. So instead of hot ones, we're going to have spicy 2's. And I don't just mean that because the bathroom trip to this is going to suck afterwards.
Oh, no.
We're going to do 2 wings of each sauce, mostly. Now, full disclosure, I bought the party pack of wings, and it came with 22. And in order for us to do this properly, we would have needed 24 or more, but I wasn't going to break up another pack for 2 questions. So the first sauce we do will only have 1 wing apiece, because we're going to torture ourselves with the final
the hotter sauce.
Now, and again, full disclosure here, I just raided the hot sauce aisle at Kroger and went with like I tried to get some variety flavor wise, but like heat wise, this has ghost pepper in our house one, but we know that's not that hot comparatively to what could be out there.
Scorpion peppers.
Carolina Reapers,
Yeah.
blazing from Buffalo Wild Wings. So with that, Josh, you got the questions. So we're gonna do a question to get us started, and then we're gonna start with the wings after that.
All right. So.
And then once we get the wings out, we'll pour the milk. And because I'm smart, I'm going to pour some half and half in mine because I want that extra fat.
Because
content.
I'm not a wimp, I'm not.
Oh, you just don't want any milk then. Understood.
Okay, the first question we have for our spicy 2's. Do you want me to answer it first and then you answer it, or
We'll trade off.
Okay. What's a childhood food memory that immediately takes you back to a happy place?
I mean, this is I get happy memory at least once a year. My mom making her homemade chicken noodle soup is I mean that's still one of my favorite things. Period. I remember I think it was in the second or third grade we had like a class cookbook. Like everyone brought in a recipe and I asked my mom, can you get the chicken noodle soup recipe? She's like, well, I don't really have a recipe. I just kind of do. I said, well, could you make that a recipe so I could put it in the cookbook? Because that's my favorite thing that you make. To which she was kind of like, it's not that hard, it's not that special, it's just like chicken noodle soup. But it's my favorite thing. The way she makes it is great. And then like anytime I have that, I'm like, I'm in my happy place. Anytime she changes the recipe, I'm like, no, just make it the way that you made it. It's perfect. And then kind of bookend that though, when Miriam and I got married, my parents got us a cookbook. It was like, but it was open, like there wasn't anything in it. It's like, write your own recipes down. But they went through and they wrote one or two recipes of theirs that they know that I really like in each of the sections, like, favorite snack, favorite dessert.
And the chicken noodle soup was in there.
And for the soup section, my mom put her chicken noodle soup recipe in there.
And so now you have it forever.
I have it forever and ever. It'll still never be as good as hers, but it's just, like, every time I have them, I'm like, I can't be sad when I eat this. It doesn't matter how I'm having it, hot, cold, fresh out of the pot, or a week later. I can just have it and I'm like, this is instant childhood bliss.
So I don't know if it's necessarily like a food eating memory for me, but it is a memory related to food.
Okay.
So I grew up with like making a lot of homemade stuff. So my parents made homemade noodles, made homemade apple strudel. But one of the things my family did was make homemade sausage.
Very, very European, German of you.
Yeah, and so like I don't know, there's just a lot of fond memories around making food as a child. And like, that's one of those, oh no.
You've ruined it.
You've ruined it. It's okay. It's off. Hold, please.
It's been a minute, guys. We're working on it.
No, I wasn't expecting this person to text me because they're supposed to be at work.
This person.
But no, like that memory of like having all of my family in the same place and like making food, and despite the yelling and the people cursing about how sharp the knives were, not sharp.
The sausage is getting warm. Why isn't there enough ice?
Just like, I don't know, it's just
there's something just magical about food that brings people together.
Yeah.
And like today, food is going to bring us together
in the bathroom
with trauma.
In the bathroom.
And I want to clarify, in my new house, there is only one bathroom. Matthew was over this past weekend, and I think we had a bad Miller Lite or something, because that's the only thing that he and I had that Miriam didn't have, and he and I were like fighting over the bathroom.
So was he in the tub and you were in the toilet?
Not that bad, but we were like text each other like, hurry up, it's my turn.
All right, let's get to the first wings.
All right.
Oh, milk.
Oh, yep. All right, let's grab the milk. Photoshop this little. This episode brought to you by Kirkland Milk.
Actually, that's Kroger milk.
This is Kirkland.
This is Kirkland milk. The superior stuff. Did you get the full fat?
No, I wanted to get whole milk, but Miriam doesn't drink whole milk, so.
And you used the knife to open the sausage, so now what will you do? No! Oh no. Oh no. Oh jeez.
It's fine.
It's dripping into the milk.
I'll pour it into mine first so it gets it out there.
Can I get the pour shot?
That's good.
If we need more, we can always get more.
Yep. And yeah, I'm gonna pour a little half and half into mine because I need that extra fat content because I'm a wuss. I shouldn't need it for this one, hopefully. Why don't you show off what that first sauce is gonna be?
Oh, are we recording already?
Yeah,
oh
we're
man.
recording.
Okay. So our first sauce is the Thai sweet chili sauce, the Melinda's brand from Kroger. I've never tried this one.
I have not tried any of these.
And so it should be a fun time. It doesn't seem like it would be very hot.
It's a 1 out of 5 on
It's a 1 out of
rating.
5 on their spice range. So,
But I mean, I bought this because like, okay, this is a good place to start at least.
so 2 wings a piece.
Well,
Sauce.
one wing for this first sauce because
Okay, yeah.
we're gonna be real about it. We'll suffer at the end.
You gotta wash the bowl out with each sauce, right?
Oh yeah. I'm a professional. I used to do this for a living.
Is it all flats?
No, it's
Thank God.
mostly flats, but there are some drums.
All right, drop in the chat. Flats or drums?
That's the poll.
You know the correct answer.
All right. So, wing first and then question.
Wing first, then question.
Okay. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Great texture on the wings.
We're gonna need some napkins.
I'll wrap them.
Mm.
I do like the flavor on this.
Very good.
It's got good acidity, which I'm surprised by.
There's good acidity. You can smell. You can taste a little bit of spice.
Yeah, like you see the little red flakes, but you're like, if they're to counter the sweet, it's not there as the primary.
So not bad.
Not bad at all.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
What am I going to get water for that? All right. So
I'm just getting the water as a palate cleanse.
Sure. Thank you. My family's gonna be really surprised to see me use that. Usually I just use my pant leg.
I know we're enculturating you. Okay.
All right. So, question.
So that first question we just asked.
Yep. So question 2.
Question 2, Electric Boogaloo. You've had some big wins in your career / life. What's the one L you took that taught you the most? I'll wait. I think it's my turn to go first.
Yeah, it is.
So, I've had a lot of big L's.
We both have.
I would probably have to say taking the job in Oklahoma.
I was kind of hoping you'd say that one.
It did teach me a lot, and I'm glad I took it in the end. But I think that like there was just a lot that like was not properly told to me, and so it did give me this sense of like, you know, in a deeper way of like trust but verify. You know, so yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, for me, job related as well. Like, you know, losing my job at Segula, it kind of like, yeah, it was a big hit to my self-esteem in a lot of ways. Losing a job in general just sucks, but that one, you know, was my first job, and you know, apartment downsize and a lot of other things. It just taught me like I can't assume that everything's going to be just remain the same. Like I have to constantly.
I didn't realize
growing.
you'll downsize the apartment.
The department.
Department.
Yeah,
I heard apartment. Okay.
No, it was right after we upgraded from our apartment to our house. Like it was the worst time
to have that happen.
Yeah, like we just like our rent went up like $600 a month. Like there was just a lot of like I was expecting like this great consistent career, and I wasn't growing in that career. I was just very stagnant with it. And being the new, like there's a lot of reasons why I was the one who was let go there, but it was like really eye opening for me. Like I can't remain stagnant. I can't just do the job. I have to be growing. I have to be excelling, because if you remain stagnant, you're going backwards in a lot of ways.
Yeah. No, I also think that like with my experience, another thing I learned is because I immediately had to figure out something because I had a lease that they weren't just going to let me get out of.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I learned that I will go work any job to do what it takes.
Yeah. I was the same way. Like I told Miriam, I said, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you don't starve.
Like, yeah. And I mean, for me, it was like, I'm the only person,
mm-hmm.
right? So for me, it was just like, okay, I have to work something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I think that's good that both of us have that. Like, we're not too proud.
I'm not. There are very few jobs that a Christian cannot do.
Yeah.
And there are very few jobs that are below the dignity of a Christian.
Yeah. Like, I hear about people who, like, you know, they're like, you know, a spouse loses their job and then they refuse to go get a new job, or like they work something super easy part-time because like, well, if I do this job, it's beneath me. I'm like, there's no job beneath providing for yourself and the people you care about.
Exactly. So good lessons learned.
Yeah, it was a hard lesson, but it was good.
Yeah,
I think we've both taken it to heart.
Yeah, because you went and worked at B-Dubs.
I worked at B-Dubs,
and I went and worked at Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still recovering from that.
Yeah, B-Dubs worked out though. I mean, it taught me clearly some great skills.
I learned how to cook great chicken at Chick-fil-A, but you know, I'll never be able to stop saying it.
Yeah, you say "my pleasure" all the time.
That's my pleasure. Yeah.
All right.
All right. On to the next one.
All right. So next, we're going with pretty basic Frank's Red Hot Wings. Now, if I was less lazy, I would have made the original recipe with margarine and all that, but this tastes pretty close to it, honestly. And I this is like my go-to sauce. This or just original Frank's.
If you have yet to figure out, we are cutting in between each sauce to sauce the wings fresh.
You don't want soggy wings, and also I don't want to dirty up more bowls. So I'm cleaning one bowl in between each one.
Yeah. Frank's hot sauce, is this the buffalo? Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's the wing sauce.
Wing.
So
we should have done crystal.
I have the crystal. We could substitute it in for one.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, I do like the Frank's wing sauce. It tastes pretty close to when you make it fresh from home. I'm not that picky where I'm like, oh no, this is horrible.
So do we want to eat one, ask the question, and then while the other person's answering, you eat the second one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. So we got one of each for this time. So I'm gonna do. I do prefer flats over
drummies are the answer. Cheers.
Cheers. Favorite my countertop, nice and dirty. I mean, you can't go wrong with a classic buffalo sauce.
No. There's something great about a buffalo chicken wing. No.
This is another form of nostalgia. Like I've been to the Anchor Bar. I've been actually twice. It's just great.
Yeah. There's definitely more heat than the Thai sweet chili. Also, I just like drinking water.
Hydrate or dehydrate.
There's definitely more heat than the Thai sweet chili, but not like a.
It's not a painful amount of heat.
No.
It's got the thing I like about it, it's heat with flavor. Like
it's not just pain.
Yeah, it doesn't sacrifice.
It's not just.
This is not for heat. I just like cooking though.
Okay.
Right.
So the question.
Penny, be quiet.
If someone wrote a book about your life right now, what would the title and possible catchline be and why? I'll wait for you to answer.
I've got my joke answer is the unbearable weight of immense talent. But no. If I was to write a book about like an autobiography about me, and I got to title it, it would probably be something like I like the idea of like calling like For the Love of the Game. Like it's a crappy movie. Like that's there's a movie based off that. the Sam Raimi directed with Kevin Costner. It's like, but I really enjoyed the movie. But it's like the idea of like I'm doing a lot of things right now because I'm doing it because I like doing it. I'm really starting to enjoy life, and I'm trying. That's why I'm trying to pass on to people like doing the things that you love is so important. Like I love being a husband, taking care of my wife, doing things around the house, playing video games with my friends, going to work and doing something that I love. And like I'm treating life like that kind of game. Like life is a game. Like baseball, 9 innings. I'm probably in like the third inning right now. This is a baseball game, and it's just like doing things because I like to do them. I'm not wasting my time like trying to do something I don't love anymore. I did that for like when I was like at ADP. I did it because I needed to, and I liked the people I worked with, but I didn't like what I was doing. And that's something that Bree really taught me when we were talking about it. It was like doing things just because that's the way you're supposed to do them doesn't necessarily mean like that's the best way to do it. So I'm doing things for the love of the game right now.
So is that the title or the subtitle?
That's the title. Like
what's their hook?
The hook is something along the lines of one man's search for meaning in the everyday. I know it's basic, but it's what I got. We're working off of spur of the questions here.
Okay, take your second wing.
All right. What about you?
Because this is how I start every testimony. I once was a man trapped in a woman's body.
As was every man.
The life and legacy of Josh Yonda.
Fair.
If you don't know, I have made this joke more than a dozen times.
Can you say you make that joke about as often as I make the how tall are you joke?
Yeah. So I make the joke anytime I have to share my testimony with people. On March 6th, 1997, I was a man trapped in a woman's body. And then on March 7th, 1997, I escaped the womb. And so I've made that joke a lot. It's slightly politically insensitive in today's climate, but it's funny.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Victory. If you can't tell, our political biases are coming out. It's the wings.
Look, we're not like, oh my gosh, Daddy Trump, but he's doing a lot of work on the first 6 days of office. It's kind of impressive.
Yep, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay, I like it.
All right, on to the next one.
All right, so next one. So originally we got this just chili garlic sauce. Like, I'll make my own Asian zing. I'll just take this, throw some soy sauce.
You did hit record, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little soy sauce, a little hoisin, and this. And we tasted like, this is way too sweet. So I said, okay.
It was less hot than the Thai sweet chili.
Yeah, so we're like, all right, either I had way too much hoisin, this doesn't have anything. That has good flavor. So I took this chili crisp oil and just threw a bunch in there.
And there was some heat.
There was a little back of the throat heat on that. It's very thick.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice, thick, chunky sauce.
Mm-hmm. So
you can always put more.
Yeah, the secret is to not...
What's the secret to a good toss?
So the secret to a good toss is you don't want to put too much sauce in there. Like, you can always add sauce. You can't take it away. So if you put too much in, you're just going to get really, like, wet wings, and not in a good way. Like, especially because these wings, I do them a little different than beat-ups. I dry them with paper towel, and then I toss them in cornstarch to get a real good crisp skin on them.
That is the secret.
Yeah.
Especially with baked wings as well.
Yeah. So this just gives it a chance to actually do its thing, and that's why we're saucing them fresh. Because there's nothing worse than like a cold wing with flabby skin.
It's okay. All right.
So, all right.
Cheers. Still very sweet.
Yeah. Probably could have put this one earlier in the rotation, but it's got great flavor.
It does. It's almost like an Asian zing.
But Asian zing has more heat. Which is surprising because Asian zing is usually pretty sweet.
Very sweet. I would eat that again.
More chili crisp next
Yeah,
time.
more chili crisp. Maybe in just like a normal hot sauce in there, like a sriracha, like a hot sriracha.
Sriracha would have been in play.
I would say like a 7 out of 10.
Like flavor-wise, I really like it. Yeah, definitely needs more heat.
Definitely needs more heat.
Like I get a little bit of like that lingering heat. Like my mouth is warm now, but not on fire.
I think my mouth is still warm from the buffalo.
Yeah.
Um.
Let's sip this just because I can.
Yeah, I'm saving mine
Yeah, I'm not looking
because
forward.
this one is
This one's gonna hurt.
This one's gonna hurt a little.
This is our most exotic sauce.
All right. If you could host a dinner party and invite 3 people only alive, who would you pick, and what's the first thing you ask them? Take your wing.
All right, go for it.
So, if I was to invite 3 people to a dinner party, and you said I can't say Mary and Jesus and my girlfriend,
That's lame.
because that's lame. Who are alive? I would probably say Jordan B. Peterson,
Okay.
El Papa, the Pope, and Donald Trump. Just want to get the 3 of them in a room and just see what things Pope Francis says in front of Donald Trump.
Look, Papa Francis, I'm gonna stop you right there. Look, you have a beautiful city, a beautiful church. It's one of it's the biggest church. The best church.
You said something about walls, and I see a lot of walls around your city.
But you said there's something against walls. I don't know. It just seems a little hypocritical to me.
Get a lot of walls around your city.
I don't know if I said this to you. I watched. I got a clip of Brendan Lee Mulligan doing Sauron, but Donald Trump, and his Donald Trump impersonation. First of all, is just fantastic.
Yeah.
It blows me away. But like, he's talking about we're gonna look. Elrond, nasty old man, he drowned the Nazgul horse, these 9 beautiful horses. Who drowns a horse, anyways? Like, and he's like going on for like a minute and a half, and they have to cut him off. Like, dude, you could just keep going forever. I'm pretty sure. So I have to stop you somewhere. But it was beautiful.
Yeah. So I would want to see like the interaction between Pope Francis and Donald Trump, and then I want to see the interaction between Jordan Peterson and Pope Francis.
What's the question that you give them to start it off though? Like, what's your little snowflake that turns into a snowball?
I would genuinely just ask them, what is the meaning of life? And how do we live life to the fullest?
Okay.
Because Jordan B. Peterson's going to go like so intellectual with it. I think Donald Trump would be like, what is this question?
He would give you a very political answer of like not giving you a real answer.
I don't think he would be able to answer the question because it's not something that is in his wheelhouse. He's not a philosopher.
That's fair.
And I think Pope Francis would say something very much along the lines of like, what is to love? And I think you would get some scoffs from Donald Trump.
Yeah. Jordan B. Peterson would like to say like, okay, but what does that look like?
Well, Jordan B. Peterson would be like, what is love? What is the meaning of love? You know, it's the same way like whenever you say like, do you believe in God? Well, what is God? Do you mean the symbolic view of God? Like, do you mean the symbolic view? And it would just spiral because Pope Francis would just be like, oh.
Now this is a follow question that I include. What are you serving for dinner for that group?
Is it Friday during Lent?
No, it's today.
I'd probably go with some Argentinian barbecue just to make Pope Francis feel at home.
I like it, and I mean everyone likes just piles and piles of meat.
Yeah,
I dig it.
Maybe some Donald Trump steaks, and you know Jordan Peterson likes his
we are raising the stakes on steak,
and you know Jordan B. Peterson, he likes his salt and water.
There you go.
He's beef, salt, and water. So I feel like that would go well.
I like it. All
right, what about you?
All right, I thought about this one. And there's a finite amount of time I can have this party, so I need to do it soon. I would have Alton Brown, obviously, my cooking idol. Bruce Campbell, man after my own heart.
Man after the Brucey boy. And
then this is the toss up. I was looking at it. I could go Arnold Schwarzenegger or I could go Tom Selleck.
Make your case for either one.
And here's my thought. I thought about it. It's in the context of the other two. Who would I think be a better guest with those other two? Because Bruce Campbell and Alton Brown are for sure. I think Arnold would be more entertaining to have with them. Tom Selleck, I love him as an actor. I think he's been in a lot of my favorite shows and movies. So I think he'd be great. I don't know how he'd be. And the thing is, him and Bruce Campbell would be good together because they're both from Michigan. They both love Michigan. But I think I would go Arnold because I think Arnold's had a little bit more impact on me in general. So,
I got another one, but I'll let you.
And the question I would ask them is, what is your? And I asked like, what if you could be in any movie, whatever script you want, what would it be? Because Alton Brown's not an actor; he's a TV personality. He like went to school for cinematography. Like he worked on like a bunch of the Got Milk commercials before he actually got into cooking. And he does do a lot of work with like he's a big movie buff. Like he does a lot of references, Monty Python, Jaws, Martha Stewart stuff in his stuff. So I think asking like your ideal movie, like what would it be? Like where would you be in it? Directing, acting, all that. Like I want to know what they want to be because you're gonna get three wildly different answers. Arnold's gonna be like he wants to remake Conan probably,
or the Terminator,
like he wants to do another one of those. But like now that he's seen like a lot of different things, how you want to do it. Bruce is like some weird offbeat film, another Bubba Hotep kind of thing.
Evil Dead.
Yep.
3.
And Alton Brown will probably do like a food, like basically take one of his food tours and turn it into a movie, which I think would be great.
Alternatively, an alternative 3 that I would pick: Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, and Ron White.
That would be great. That'd be just entertaining. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I think we both would be like, "Can I come?"
Yeah. Like, can I get a fourth on that?
So, all right. Let's reset.
All right.
So, another one.
Okay, so this is Marie Sharp's.
Marie Sharp's.
It's the famous hot sauce. This one's actually our most exotic sauce.
It's 2 out of 6.
Which scares me a little bit, considering we both tried a little of this and we were like,
oh, no. Yeah. So this could be the hottest one we tried today.
It could be. My parents brought this back from Belize. They went to visit my brother over Christmas.
Shout out, Steven.
Shout out to Steven. Shout out to my family.
Just Steven.
I'll give a shout out to my parents. They paid me to watch the dog. Yeah, I'm going to do one.
Say when.
My parents, like, they just had this stuff on the tables. That should be good. Like, so that's probably why it's like only a 2 out of 6 or whatever. But
so this is
habanero hot sauce. Like, it's not supposed to be a pushover.
So this is probably like their equivalent of like a Tabasco sauce.
Yeah, at least the way they treat it. But it seems like it's got a lot more kick to it. It's also surprisingly thick.
Yeah, I mean
it's more like a puree than a sauce.
Yeah, so we probably could have taken the little stop route.
Yeah, but whatever.
And only for $3.75. That's really not bad.
Oh yeah, I mean they brought a couple bottles of that back.
So ingredients include carrot, select red habanero peppers, vinegar, onion, salt, lime juice, and garlic. Okay. So Marie Sharp's. All right. 3, 2, 1. Bit right into the bone. You good, bud?
We have a very large in the heat scale here.
Don't watch.
Oh gosh. Our audio viewers are doing much better than our visual viewers right now. It's got really good flavor.
The flavor's immaculate. You good, dog?
It's not that hot, realistically.
It's.
But we went from like 3 pretty mid sauces to.
Whoo! There's some heat on the tip of my tongue, but I mean, I'll drink anal prolapser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
if you don't know that joke, if you don't know that joke, when you go to a hardware store and you find a hot sauce,
it's either Tabasco or it's anal prolapser. It's the hottest thing you'll ever drink. Whew. Yeah. I mean, realistically, this is like pretty similar to like the hot sauce at B-Dubs, maybe a little hotter.
Yeah.
But like, so manageable. But like the flavor on this.
Well, flavor's immaculate.
Like,
I'm going to have to get some of this.
Yeah. You can probably buy it on Amazon.
So this is probably, what would you say this is? Like as far as your scale?
Like,
1 to 10. Not hotness, just how do you like it?
I put this at like a solid 8.
This is a solid 8 for me too.
It's a little too hot for me to like just like, oh, I'm just gonna have this regularly.
I think there's more spice than there is flavor. But...
Yep, but it doesn't skimp on the flavor, which is not common in hot sauces.
Right.
Like there's that one like Mad Dog 357 that's just hot and it's not flavor at all, but it's not even good hot. It's just crappy flavor. Yep. So I answer first attempt, so you get to have the win with gas.
Yeah, I know.
You're stalling.
If you could instantly master one skill that has always eluded you, what would it be and why? Oh boy.
There's a couple things I can go with this. Like a basic answer would be like, I can't cook rice very well, which is surprising considering it's like the most basic thing to cook, and I'm a pretty decent cook. My rice is always terrible, so that'd be like that's like an easy answer for me. But like a skill that's always eluded, because that's something I could definitely learn. Something that's always eluded me. I would love to be good at studying. I'm not good at studying. I'm really not. Like I can cram, or I just like can figure out information pretty well, but like studying and being organized with my notes and note taking, like that's always just been a problem for me because it seems so tedious. I'm like, I can remember this, and then the day of the test comes like, I don't know what this was. It's like the classic like kid who's a little too smart. Like as a young age, I just I cruise through everything, and then I hit 6th grade hits. I'm like, oh crap, I need to start studying, and I don't know how to. Everyone else has had 5 or 6 years learning how to study and practice. I never had that, so I hit a wall. Yeah. And it's been a struggle, like high school, college, all this stuff. So like just being able to learn how to take notes well. Swallow. Got a little bit of the spicy spit going down the wrong tube. Yeah. We're doing this for you. When I suggested this to Josh, he's like, are you sure you want to do this?
Well, because like for me, like yeah, it's spicy. But I can handle it. For you, bud?
I'm not. Yeah, like
you're Midwest white.
I'm not as white as Brendan, but like I'm pretty white. I'm aggressively Caucasian.
You're Midwest white. I'm Southern white. Yeah, the nose is starting to run like
just a little bit. And biggest this beard, there's like a little bit of hair. It's trapped in the sauce. Yeah. All right.
You're up.
All right, you're well. You gotta answer the question.
Yeah, I gotta look at it again.
the fog of heat has already melted your brain.
So if I can instantly master one skill, does it have to be a skill? Does it have to be a skill that I have been working on?
No, there's something that you've wanted to be good at. Okay. You can have worked on it. You don't have to have though.
Is it a skill that I would claim to be a master of now? But going back, I wish I could have just gotten it.
Something you don't have anything you want now, but you don't have yet.
I would like to be a master barbecuer.
Which is saying a lot because you're already really good at it.
There's so much I have to learn. It's either that, like mastering barbecue, which we will have.
A bubble. In your throat, like give a little. There you go.
I just had like a gorge.
No, you just had like in your voice.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
No, some one wasn't as bad. I think I've gotten used to the heat a little bit more.
Yeah, no. It's either mastering the skill of barbecuing or ballroom dancing.
Interesting. I know how to do a box step, and that's about it.
I know how to waltz. I know how to Texas two-step. It's okay. It's either those two, or I really want to learn how to play the fiddle.
See, that'd be a cool one. that would really don't get me wrong. All those would be cool for you to be able to do. Like especially, I think the dancing, especially for you, would be kind of cool. Like because
I like to dance.
I like to dance too. I'm garbage at it. I have no sense of rhythm. I'm white.
But being able to play the fiddle,
I can't yeah, instruments are. I'm gonna change mine. Not change. I'm gonna add that into mine. Being able to sing, I'd love to be able to sing.
Yeah,
I'm tone deaf. Yeah, but I love music. Like I really do. Like I have a great.
And what's funny is I don't really listen to music, but I would say I'm an okay singer.
Yeah, you know how to carry a tune. I can't do that.
Yeah,
and it sucks because my wife is a fantastic singer.
Yeah, so I would probably say learning how to play the fiddle, because like there's so much you could do with it. You could be a one-man band basically. Mm-hmm. So
and you can fill anything like as far as like music, like you can just get into it.
Yep. Yeah. So all right, on to the next one.
so
Melinda's fire roasted garlic and habanero.
Now I'm excited for this one as far as like
It's a pepper sauce.
it's still pepper sauce, but I like sauces that are proud of the fact there's garlic in them because
You season with your heart.
I season garlic with my heart. But even like just a regular buffalo sauce with like extra garlic in it. Like when I make my buffalo sauce, I do add roasted garlic in it because I think it just adds like garlic has so much flavor. And it has a little bit of sweet. It has a little bit of the spice, like the heat from it. If you
Garlic
like,
is very sticky too.
it just works.
Okay.
Okay. Off camera, we did
Water.
We did do a nose clean. I'm gonna preload the milk. Oh, I have to do the question. I have to do the first this time. All right.
Cheers.
Thank you for taking the bigger one.
That's very sweet.
Give it a second. I don't think it's as hot as that one. I think you're right. I think we did the order wrong again. But there's still some heat on this one.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, there's an American hot sauce and a Mexican hot sauce, or wherever Belize is.
South America.
Yeah.
Central America, actually.
That's right.
South of Mexico. Don't worry, Andrew did pass geography.
I was in the geography B in
me too.
in fourth grade.
Wow.
Or fifth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's sixth. I don't know. I made it to the finals. And I said St. Louis River instead of St. Lawrence. And it got me knocked out, which I'm still kicking myself. Because we just did that unit too.
So that was pretty good.
I would say it's not as good as I do still like. While this is hotter, I do also like the flavor. This is brighter. Like it's like.
See, the heat's now starting to come back in.
Yep. I like the flavor. Like you like the roasted garlic. You definitely get that. Let's see, roasted pepper mix, habanero, sweet pepper, vinegar, garlic, lime juice, passion fruit.
That one was definitely sweeter, which I kind of liked.
It has more. I think this has more flavor than this, but I prefer the flavor of this. If that makes sense.
I can see that.
This is more complex, but this like it's very rare that you get a hot sauce that is bright flavored. Like this has got lots of complex, deep notes. Yeah, we definitely should have switched the order on those. But
all right,
question time, and you answer first this time.
Oh, it's me. Okay,
I gotta do the drum this time.
Yep, you gotta take a bigger. What's a moment in your life that felt like the spiciest or most challenging time you had to face? How did you get through it? So we talked about this earlier. To clarify,
because it sounds very similar to question 2.
What?
So it sounds very similar to our second question.
Yes. So spiciest / challenging, not necessarily meaning biggest L.
There's a lot more sauce on this side.
Yeah. And so I think that for me, it was probably a couple of the high adventure trips in Scouts, especially like Philmont. But also that semester in Austria. Yeah.
That's going to be my answer, probably.
That semester in Austria, like I had just gotten a Franciscan and I decided, let me move halfway across the world. Couldn't get far enough away from my family, so I moved across the world. Not literally, I love my family. But there was just like...
It just lingers on your palate.
It was just very difficult because, like, I was having some issues with the friends I went with, and that provided its own source of complications, and so... Yeah, no, but it definitely helped me to grow a lot. Because there was also definitely a lot of W's. So, all right.
Whew. There's also just a lot of wings, just for like, I had a late breakfast, so I was already kind of full, and then I had piling wings in there. I have a very similar set of answers. To you, I need another sip of milk. Oh my gosh.
Homie's not doing well.
we're riding the struggle bus right now. But for me, yeah, I would say high adventure was like a big challenge because I was 2014, so it was my summer after sophomore year that I went. So I was in shape, skinny kid, doing this very physical high adventure, and that was challenging. But yeah, I would say Austria. I would say that was physically one of the most challenging things I did. But it was rewarding because I still remember like just getting on the top of Mount Baldy and going like doing the Rocky pose, King of the World.
Yeah. Did you go to 2's the time?
No, it was my big L. Our route didn't include that.
Yeah, we went 2's the time and Baldy.
But Austria, I think emotionally was one of the spiciest times for me.
Yeah, very spicy for you.
Yeah, people ask me like, "How was Austria?" I'm like, "It was a time," because there were like, and rose-colored glasses. Sometimes look back, like sometimes I'm looking back at Austria, I'm like, this was like a great experience. And I tell people like, you should go to Austria. Everyone, if they have the opportunity to go, like at Franciscan, go to Austria if you can.
Go study abroad anywhere.
Yeah, like the cultural experiences that I got there, I would never be able to get otherwise. And what happened with it was friendships were tested in a way that I knew who my friends were. The friendships that survived Austria were much stronger because of it, and the ones that like kind of fell apart and faded away, that trend continued once we got back to Franciscan.
Yeah,
so it kind of prepared me for that. But also like the people like I went to, the people I talked to the most still, like Riley and Michaela, and my wife, obviously, like those friendships, like they got really strong because of it. It's the hottest fire makes the strongest steel kind of vibe. It just there was a lot of challenges being so close to each other. It's like being a pressure cooker.
Yep, and it was hard because I was going through stuff while you were in Austria.
Yep,
and you were going through stuff while I was no, not really.
I mean,
we were both going through stuff, and like I would say at that time you were my best friend. I don't know where you were at with that, but it was like I can't even like talk to Andrew about like what's going on in life.
Yeah, it like being disconnected from the group in general, like the Fishers, was rough for me because I just found
you were the only Fishers. Yeah,
I was the only Fisher there, and I had just found like my group of brothers basically. Like I know I was still in Tampa. I was like, I felt like you guys made me feel like a brother right away.
Yep.
But yeah, like the brothers in general, but like specifically you and a few other guys, I was like, I don't have that. I don't have a lot of guy friends in Austria. I made a couple, but even then, like they're not like I don't have them anymore. Like the guys that I still talk to from college, they were in Austria with me. So yeah, it was a spicy time for sure. But I'm glad I went. I wouldn't change it. It's made me who I am today. But if I were to do it again, I would do it a little bit better.
I mean, maybe. I think I would do it exact same. Because I think the things that challenged me were things that needed to be challenged.
That's fair.
But
all right,
how you feeling? You ready? Because this one got hotter.
Yep.
After it sat in your mouth. Yep. I think this one is harder than that one after it sat in the mouth.
I'd say they averaged out to be about the same heat overall.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
All right. So Josh needs a refill.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to feel it here. I'll let you get the sauce in there. Like that good for you for milk?
That's fine.
Start there. If we need more, we'll add more.
All right. So this is Melinda's creamy style ghost pepper wing sauce and condiment.
We'll shot of that in there. And that's their hottest rated sauce that we could find there. Again, we're looking at Kroger sauces, so Kroger's not exactly a hot sauce emporium, but you got like the perfect amount on the first try. Tell us what the ingredients are there.
Water, white vinegar, habanero pepper mash, cayenne pepper mash, carrot, which is such an interesting ingredient.
I think it's just like it's orange filler.
Salt, boot, Volokia pepper mash, ghost pepper mash.
I'm glad that's not the first ingredient.
Canola, vegetable oil, white onion, lime juice, garlic, xanthan.
Ow! I have a little cut. I got a little bit of the sauce in it.
I have a cut on this thumb.
Oh. Do you like
Just the tips. Just the tips.
dainty fingers? Okay, so for this one, I think that we should read the question first and then take the bite of the wing because we're gonna need some time to process the wing while we're thinking of the question.
So we answer the question, then 2 wings?
No, we ask the question, and then while we have a wing, so we can eat and process the question a little bit, and then we'll do the second wing each.
But when are we going to talk about the wing?
We can talk about the wing while we're processing the question. Okay. We're very professional here. We thought about all this.
I'm scared.
All right. Final question. What do we got?
If you had one final chance to leave a message or legacy for the world, what would it be? And does eating this wing change that? Did you have ChatGPT write these?
No, I did not. I did look at like some hot ones questions, and I just added some wing things to them. But
get the trash can over here
so we can throw up in it. Oh,
in case we need it.
I'm gonna leave it closed because that reeks right now. So open when needed.
Sure.
It's been an honor.
It's been an honor and a pleasure. All right. Which one are you going for?
I'm getting the last flat.
Do I go for the big drummy or the smaller drummy?
If you love me as a friend, please take the big one. Oh, it's seeping into my skin. Hurry.
I might have to use the bathroom. Cheers. Cheers. Not bad on the initial bite.
Very buffalo flavor. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Your eyes just went wide.
The flavors act like this is a very good buffalo flavor sauce.
I'm not mad with the sauce flavor. I'm not getting a lot of heat.
I'm getting it. It is more like it hits hard for a second, goes away, hits hard. Because this is a creamy style, so I think that helps.
I'm not getting a lot of heat. All right. Legacy for the world. Go.
I mean, when I think of legacy for the world, like I think like what would be on my tombstone?
Mm.
And I want it to be, classic. I want to say, loving husband and father, God willing. But
Inshallah. Inshallah.
The spicy spit is like the worst part.
Yeah, the tip of my tongue is starting to get hot.
But and this is a basic Christian answer, but I want to say like he was Christ to those that he met. Mm-hmm. Like just especially my time working with people in OCIA and hearing their stories, it's become really clear to me that I've had a very blessed life in a lot of ways, and I want to be able to give to the people who haven't had those blessings, who didn't have two loving parents who were around all the time. I never worried about food when I was a kid. I never worried about shelter. All my parents took very great care of me. And I hear these stories of people who didn't have that. And I want to be able to say, I want people to like when I'm gone, I want people to be like fighting to give my eulogy. Like I touched them in such a way that they feel compelled to say something about what I did. Not because I want the glory of it, but like somebody I know that I touched that many people.
So going back to the question, if you have one final chance to leave a message or legacy for the world, so it would be like the one thing you did to leave behind. What would it be?
I would love to leave behind some kids who are like my children, who are well adjusted and who are loving and take care of other people.
Okay.
I want my kid every parent wants their kids to be just like them but better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I want my kids to be nothing like me and better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like that's the legacy I want to live. I want to leave behind people who are going to make big changes in the world because of something I taught them, and the way that I raised them, and because they're strong in their faith. That's the legacy that I want to leave behind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that they can go on and change the world. And then their kids, because they do the same thing and just like have this long-term effect. Which I know is kind of a basic answer in that regard, but like that's the goal. Especially because like I'm not going to make a big impact in the world in my current role.
I don't know.
All right.
I think we save it until after
Okay.
I answer, and that'll be the last shot of the show.
Well, we still have to do the other. So what are we doing?
Oh, we are still doing that. So let's let it breathe.
Yeah, give a little breath. Continue. Your turn.
So for me, I think the message or legacy I would want to leave behind would be is that true love requires suffering.
Mm-hmm. Elaborate.
So last week, I gave a retreat for the students, and I read from an interview, 2 interviews, one from Mahatma Gandhi,
okay,
and one from Penn Jillette.
Okay,
Penn and Teller.
Yep, took me a second.
And Mahatma Gandhi was asked one time. He said, "You know, you quote a lot from the New Testament and from Jesus. Why haven't you become a Christian?" And the response was basically, "I would become a Christian if I ever met one."
Interesting.
Let that sink in for a second. And then the second thing was Penn Jillette. He is a known atheist.
Mm-hmm.
And one time he remarked in an interview that he had an evangelical Christian come up to him after a show, and he was like, "Hey, I love your show. I just have to tell you, like, as a Christian, like, unless you convert, I think you're going to hell."
Mm-hmm.
And like most people hear that and they go, "What a jerk," right? But Penn Jillette said he actually had a lot of respect for Christians who do things like that. He said, because if you think that there's an eternal life, how much do you have to hate someone to not tell them about it? And it really caused me to stop and think, and it caused this group of students that I was meeting with to stop and think, and just go like, regardless of the amount of suffering it might cost me, am I willing to love?
Are you convicted enough of this mission?
Are you convicted enough of that, but also like, are you willing to love even if it and not count the cost?
Yeah.
Right? Are you willing to lose friendships out of love? Are you willing to embrace physical suffering out of love, spiritual suffering, emotional suffering, whatever it might be for love? Because ultimately, like, we're called to, like, as Christians, we believe we're called to love God and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And if I love God, I will do the things that God wants me to do. And if I love my neighbor, I will do whatever it takes to get them to the greatest possible good, which is heaven.
Yeah.
And so, like, going back to the Gandhi quote, he kind of, I think he was a little misguided in it, but I think there's some truth of, like, if Christians were actually living out the gospel, right?
The world would look radically different.
Yes, and you would have people converting because we're actually living out the message of Jesus and striving to grow in holiness and striving to grow in love and not being concerned with party politics and not being concerned with this or that, but it's just like, hey, like, this is what the truth is, and we're going to live it out, even if sometimes the truth makes me go against preconceived notions or ideals.
And I think we're starting to see that in a small way, because my experience with it, like, when I talk about OCA a lot, the people that, like, a lot of people are concerned about, like, the church as far as, like, oh, we're not growing as much, it's smaller than ever, COVID really killed off the church a lot. The people who are coming to the church and saying, I want what you guys have, are so on fire for their faith. Whether they have a strong faith, like they're like, oh, I was Lutheran for a long time, I want to become Catholic because I see what you guys have and I want this. or people who have never had a faith. Like I'm helping Deacon Mike out with the high schoolers, and there's just three of them, but they don't know a lot as far as like theology, which
Not surprising.
well, I made fun of them a little bit for it's like, oh, so you're not don't pay attention to my wife's class because they both had her,
Whatever.
but the questions that they're asking and the desires that they have are, I'm not getting what I want out of life, and I see the people who have faith are getting what they want out of life. It's not easy for them, but they're seeing that yes, there's suffering, but out of that suffering is greatness.
Yeah. And to go back to the Mahatma Gandhi quote, there's a larger context to it. He said the exact phrase is, he says, "I like your Christ, but I don't like Christians," because he sees Christians, especially like Western Christians, as being absorbed with materialism and wealth, which is not something that Christ was ever concerned about.
Correct.
And like, you and I both are much more financially off than a majority of the world, even though we would consider ourselves poor pals. But it is that sense of like, am I willing to fully embrace all of Christ's teachings in the way I love my neighbor? Do I welcome the alien? Do I welcome, the stranger? How do I treat the homeless? Even if sometimes,
a little spicy spit there.
yeah. Even if sometimes it does mean that we go against our other beliefs regarding like, oh, people should take care of themselves, or oh, like I believe in like a specific kind of border policy. Am I still willing to say like, okay, but I'm still going to choose to love and to seek what's best for the person, to help them get what's best within the legal realms of that and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the
and it's hard.
It's the balancing act of being a Christian in today's society.
Of being a Christian who wants to fully follow Jesus.
Yeah, and like Christ never said it would be easy.
No,
it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yep.
I think people conflate the two a lot.
So yeah, that's been something that's just been on my mind lately, and that's the legacy I would want to leave behind. Is like,
you are willing
love
to suffer
to the point of suffering.
Yep, I think it's great.
So, ending it on a religious note,
of course.
I think we eat the last wings as the final shot.
Okay, so let's finish. So how have you been going deeper,
or how am I going to go deeper? Megan and I started reading a book together.
Very nice.
So, yeah, it's been fun.
What kind of book?
It's called Fulfillment of All Desire by Ralph Martin.
Oh, so it's like a book.
Yeah, it's like a Jesus book.
Okay. I don't know if you were just doing like a book club thing.
No. Okay. We're reading a Jesus book. It's kind of a big deal in our relationship. And yeah, that's been fun. We're gonna start reading it this week together. Then another thing is going to add daily adoration since I started the new job, but it hasn't been something that's like always been super consistent. Yeah, there's a lot of different things. So
nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I've been really getting into wood burning stoves.
Yeah.
Less serious on the years, but like, we had the stove and we had that really cold weather the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I bet you could use the top of the stove to like fry an egg.
I probably could. Like it gets really hot.
We could test it. We can get a pan. We can fry an egg.
But it's been fun because it's a challenge because I don't have a great stove. I have a weird stove. I was talking to you about this a little bit earlier, but it lets me kind of tap into that boyish enjoyment of playing with fire in a controlled way. But I'm doing something productive, like I'm helping heat my house, lower the gas bill a little bit, and there's just something reminiscent. Like we almost never had fires in our fireplace when I was a kid. Like it was such a pain. My dad had it was such a to do. You have to make sure the flue's open. You got to burn it in such a way so you don't get the house. My parents hated doing it, but I love campfires and I love that. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And getting to play with fire as a guy, just like our thing. But like sitting out there, learning, like I'm doing a ton of research on how to do it properly. All right, I don't have the best way to do it. How can I do the best with what I have? It's just like another fun little skill for me to learn how to work with it. And I really enjoy it. It's like being able to do outdoor stuff inside. And me like comments. She likes like peeking, like she'll be reading on the couch. She's sitting out there like just fiddling with it. My parents gave me their old the wood chest for it, the fireplace tools. I bought a fan for out there. Just like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it well. I'm gonna do it the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gonna do that in a while, so it's been a fun way for me to like tap into that innate enjoyment that I have.
Yep.
Finding enjoyment in the little things and doing it well.
So great.
What about that? Thank you for joining us on this spicy journey.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you an update on the bathroom situation later.
No, I'm gonna have to use it right now.
I know.
I finish this.
All right. Next time,
what if we
talk about friendship? And this is true friendship. Thank you for joining us.